In 1977, a signal came from space. It lasted just 72 seconds. No noise, no interference, just a perfect, structured transmission unlike anything ever recorded. It didn't repeat, it didn't fade in, it simply appeared, and then it was gone. What shocked scientists the most wasn't just the signal itself, but where it came from, deep space, far beyond anything humans had ever sent. It was so unusual that one astronomer circled the data and wrote a single word beside it, "Wow!" And even today, no one knows what it was, or who sent it. This is Darkened Portal, where real stories are often darker than fiction. If you're new here, subscribe because some mysteries don't come from Earth. They come from beyond it. On August 15th, 1977, a radio telescope picked up a signal that lasted just 72 seconds. It was clear, structured, and unlike anything scientists had ever seen. But what made it truly unsettling was that it never appeared again. On the night of August 15th, 1977, at the Big Ear Radio Telescope in Ohio, something unusual happened. The observatory wasn't looking for signals from aliens. It was part of a routine sky survey, scanning space for natural radio emissions. Everything about that night was expected to be ordinary. But then the data changed. A powerful signal appeared, strong, narrow, and incredibly precise. It stood out immediately because it didn't behave like typical cosmic noise. Most signals from space are scattered, random, and weak. This one was different. It had a clear frequency, a steady intensity, and a pattern that suggested it came from a single focused source. The signal lasted for exactly 72 seconds. Not 71, not 73. Exactly the amount of time it would take for a fixed radio telescope to observe a signal as Earth rotated. Which meant one thing: the source wasn't moving randomly. It was fixed somewhere in deep space. When astronomer Jerry Emin reviewed the computer printout days later, he noticed the sequence 6EQJ5. It didn't look like much to anyone else, but to him, it represented something extraordinary. The letters and numbers indicated signal strength, and this one was far beyond anything they had recorded before. He circled it in red ink, and next to it, he wrote a single word, "Wow." That name stayed with it forever. The "Wow" signal. But what made it even more disturbing wasn't just its strength or clarity. It was its frequency. The signal was detected at 1420 megahertz, a very specific frequency known as the hydrogen line. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and this frequency is considered a universal marker. Scientists have long believed that if any intelligent civilization wanted to communicate, this is the frequency they would choose, because it's the one frequency everyone would recognize, which raises a serious question. If this signal was natural, why did it appear exactly at the most meaningful frequency in the universe? And if it wasn't natural, then what was it? Attempts were made to find it again. The telescope was pointed back to the same region of space. Scientists waited, scanned, and monitored for years, but the signal never returned. Not once. No repetition. No follow-up. No pattern over time. Just a single, perfect transmission. And then silence. Over the decades, many explanations have been proposed. Some suggested it was a passing comet releasing hydrogen clouds. Others believed it could be a rare cosmic phenomenon, something we simply don't understand yet. But none of these explanations fully fit, because comets don't produce signals that strong and focused, and natural space noise doesn't suddenly appear at a precise frequency, hold steady, and then vanish completely. Then there's another possibility. One that scientists are careful not to confirm, but also can't completely ignore, that the signal was artificial, that it came from a source designed to be detected. If that's true, then the next question becomes even more unsettling. Why only once? Why send a signal so clear, so intentional, and never repeat it? Was it a test? A mistake? Or something else entirely? Some believe it could have been a directional transmission, like a narrow beam that briefly crossed Earth as its source rotated or moved. If that's the case, then the signal wasn't meant specifically for us. We were just in the way, at the exact right moment. Others think something even stranger, that it was meant for us, but for reasons we don't understand. A single message, a proof of existence, or perhaps something we failed to recognize or decode. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. We didn't understand it. We recorded it. We analyzed it, we stored it, but we never decoded anything meaningful from it. If it was a message, we missed it. And that leaves us with a possibility that's difficult to accept. That humanity may have already received a signal from beyond Earth, and simply didn't know what to do with it. Even today, with far more advanced technology, the WOW signal remains unexplained. It stands as one of the strongest candidates for a non-natural transmission ever recorded. And yet, it remains a mystery, a single moment in time, 72 seconds of something we can't explain, followed by decades of silence. And maybe that's the most unsettling part. Not that we detected something unknown, but that whatever sent it never tried again. For 72 seconds, something out there reached us, not with noise, not with randomness, but with a signal so precise that even today we still can't explain it. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it was gone, never repeated, never understood. The WOW signal remains one of the most mysterious events in human history, not because we didn't detect it, but because we still don't know what it meant. So what do you think it was? A natural phenomenon we don't yet understand? Or something far more intentional? Tell me in the comments, because sometimes the most important questions are the ones that never get answered.